Hey, I'm Rachel, this is Let Me in the Library, and today we're going to do my September TBR. I don't want to hear about it, how late this is, I know, but we're going to do my TBR. If you're new here, I do a monthly dice game where I will roll a bunch of 20-sided dice in the spirit of being a big D&D nerd, and in throwing these dice, I'll see what I get, and those numbers that I get correspond to a pre-made list that have a bunch of prompts. So I use that to figure out what I'm supposed to read for the month. However, it's also Bookapolathon, and because this is the future and through video editing technology magic, I kind of already know what I got. I will say we're going to see the rolls that I get, but one of the rolls I got was a 10, which I usually use in my game for Bookapolathon to play off of the Bookapolathon board. But because it's Bookapolathon, we're going to be also rolling for that game, so we'll do that a little bit differently this time. So without further ado, let's just see the rolls that I got, and I'll walk you through what all of that means and the books that I've selected for each of these prompts. Let's roll some dice! That was a 2, a 3, a 10, a 12, a 16, and a 17 on my brand new pretty dice. So now I'm going to roll one 4-sided dice to see. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm going to use my brand new dice. So I'm going to use this 4-sided dice here to roll and see if I can change any of these numbers. Okay, so I can change any one of these by 3. Okay, so we're back from rolling everything. Wow, it's so weird. It's like it's the future and like I know what's coming. All right, let's do it. So first off, the first thing that I rolled was a 2, which is to read a long read, which for me I consider to be a 400 plus page book. So for this I selected The Diviners by Libba Bray. This is the Fantasy Series book club pick for last month, but we will be reading Lair of Dreams this month as well. We're reading this as part of the fantasy series read along for the Diviner series. So if you want to discuss this and read along with us, it's not too late. You can join us in the Discord that I'll link in the description down below. The Diviners takes place in like the 1920s, and it is about this young woman who ends up moving to New York, and she discovers this strange murder mystery that seems to be unfolding in the city, and over the course of staying here and getting involved in this sequence of events, she meets a couple of different people. She ends up staying with her very eccentric uncle, who works at this oddities type of museum, and quite a few very interesting things happen in this pretty lengthy book. So that's my selection for this roll. For the next roll, I got a 3, which is a TBR veteran. So I chose a book that I haven't talked about for quite some time on this channel, but that book is the Atlas 6. This came out some time ago, and I got a Libro FM arc of the audiobook also some time ago, so I thought it would be a good time to pick this up because it has big dark academia themes, and September is a great month for dark academia. It's like the month of dark academia, it seems. The Atlas 6 is about the Alexandrian Society, which is a secret society of magical academicians. Wait, academicians. This is so confusing already. The best in the world, their members are caretakers of lost knowledge from the greatest civilizations of antiquity, and those who earn a place among their number will secure a life of wealth, power, and prestige beyond their wildest dreams. Each decade, the world's 6 most uniquely talented magicians are selected for the initiation, and here are the chosen few. The Goodreads talks about who each of these people are, and like, you know, I assume this is like a found family deal, except you would think that, except I think they're going to kill each other. When the candidates are recruited by the mysterious Atlas Blakely... Wait, isn't this by someone named Olivier Blake? Was that on purpose? Interesting. They're told they must spend 1 year together to qualify for initiation, and during this time they'll be permitted access to the Society's archives and judged on their contributions to arcane areas of knowledge. 5, they are told, will be initiated. 1 will be eliminated. If they can prove themselves to be the best, they will survive. Most of them. So I think this is a series. The second book is called The Atlas Paradox. The prequel is The Sacred Hospitality. So I didn't even know there was a prequel, but hey, I'm going to be reading the first book, The Atlas 6, and seeing how I feel about it. I know quite a lot of people have really enjoyed this book and given it 5 stars, and I know personally some people who maybe didn't enjoy it as much, so it's definitely one I'm very excited to check out. for myself. So my next roll was a 10, which is the Bookapolathon board. So this is a perfect time to start doing some Bookapolathon rolls. So I'll be doing them here. I have my iPad, not iPad because I'm an Android person, but my tablet. I'll be using this to look at the Bookapolathon board and figure out what my rolls correspond to. Hey, I really want to do some rolls for Bookapolathon, and I got some really nice new dice as a birthday gift. So I'm going to be rolling some of my brand new dice. Show you what I get. Okay, so that's a 4 and a 2. So I'm going to move 6 on the board now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I got people on the cover, so I need to get a book that has people. I'm going to keep rolling. Okay, that is a 3 and a 1. That means I'm going to move 4 spots on the Bookapolathon board. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, dice roll roulette. I don't remember what this means. I'm gonna have to figure out how to play this. That's probably fine. We can do another roll. Okay, this is great. This is fun. I know this is gonna be a mistake later, but not yet. Alright, that's a 2 and a 1. And let's see. I'm gonna move 3 spots. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so published or set in the 2000s to 2019s. I think I got this one too. I feel like the Diviners is probably gonna fit for this one, so that's okay. Let's roll again and see what happens. Okay, that's a 4 and a 1 for the evidence. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Favorite setting. Dark academia. Oh wow, it's going to be an academic setting for sure for me, which means I can go again because I already have a book for this that I wanted to read this month. Ooh, doubles. Okay, that means that I have to go again. So I got 2 4s, which means I'm gonna have to roll another one after this. Oh no, I can't believe I have to go again. That's so sad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I really wanted to get the emoji one, but I got features a romance. Okay, features a romance. I think we could fit that in. I don't know if I can say 1 more, but let's do at least 1 more because of my doubles. So that is a 3 and a 2. 5 more spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. First person perspective. I feel like I could make that work. Let's do another one. Okay, one more. Alright, that's a 4 and a 1. So I'm gonna go 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chance. Oh, I think chance is like you have a pile of good books that you want to read and bad books you don't want to read. This is where my hubris comes in. Am I regretting this? Okay, maybe we can make this work. Maybe we can make this work. Okay. Okay, I got this book by Jessica Lack called Superior. It's a superhero story and it looks actually really cool. Okay, so I got people on the cover, dice roll roulette, then I got published or set between 2000 to 2019. Then I got my favorite setting, and then I got features a romance, then first person perspective, and then lastly I got chance, which I think is where I'm going to end it because I feel like that's roughly the right amount for Bookapolathon. I also rolled a 12, which is a playlist picks my TBR, so I'll be using Spotify here. I don't have the cute, real Spotify. I have free Spotify, so I'll be just clicking skip because all playlists are on random shuffle anyway, and I'll just see what I get. Okay, I got an ad. That's not what I wanted. I got another ad for Honda this time. Thank you. I have a Honda, so you don't need to tell me. I know. It's a great car. This is a motorcycle. Why are you even showing me this? This doesn't even make any sense. Okay, so I got She's Always a Woman by Billy Joel. So, great song. Big fan of Billy Joel. Love it. So, I'll have to find a book that reminds me of She's Always a Woman. She's always a woman. She's always a woman to me. So I also rolled a 16, which is a poll. So I put out a poll on Instagram and asked you what I should be reading. and everybody said that I should be reading Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, which is a pretty new book that came out, which is about these two childhood best friends who end up reconnecting, and I think they make a game together and become very, very famous. I don't know too much else other than that, but I think most people seem to love this book. I've heard a few people who really did not, so I'm really interested to see where I fall. The last thing I rolled was a 17, but I am moving up 3 spaces with my little 4-sided dice that I get to roll every time I roll 6 d20s. So I moved that all the way up to the 20 spot. So the prompt for 20 is my most anticipated book, and in this case that's The Honeys by Ryan LaSala, which I'm so excited to read. It sounds so good. This is about Mars, who's gender fluid and recently witnessed the very brutal death of his sister. So he ends up going to this special camp which she used to hang out with all the time, and it seemed like he was never allowed to go there because people shunned him for his gender fluidity. So he ends up going there and seeing a lot of these weird things go on. Like, it seems like kind of like a Midsommar type of like paradise location, but he also sees the Honeys, which are these girls that his sister used to hang out with all the time, and they definitely have something sketchy going on. They keep these beehives behind their little cabins, and something very strange is happening for sure. And it seems like the longer he stays there, the worse his memory gets. Like, he can't quite remember all the clues that he needs to keep in mind. So it's like something is hunting him and he needs to like be aware of it and catch them before they catch him. So I don't know. I mean, it sounds amazing. I love Ryan LaSala, like, not just as an author, but I feel like he's just one of the funniest people ever. If you watch his TikToks, if you watch and follow him on Twitter and stuff, he's just super hilarious, and I'm a really big fan of his. So I'm really excited. I was really highly anticipating this book. It's finally out, and I'm super hyped to read it for this month. So, other than this TBR game, a few other extra housekeeping things. So of course we have the Fantasy Series book club. As I mentioned, we're reading The Diviners by Libba Bray, as well as the second book, The Lair of Dreams, which we'll be discussing this month. Other than that, we are also going to be doing the Winers Book Club, reading Nettle and Bone. Nettle and Bone is a kind of like a fairy tale, dark fairy tale situation, where instead of marrying the prince as a typical princess would, this princess ends up killing him. And I think that she's asked to gather these 3 sort of impossible things, like, you know, catch moonlight in a jar, bring a ghost dog back to life made only of bones, and like sew a dress out of nettles or something like that. Nettle, bone, makes sense. So she has to do these impossible tasks. I forget exactly for what reason, but it seems really cool, and I'm very excited about this book. This one's going to be on my channel, so we'll be discussing it there. As for all of the Diviners books that I mentioned for Fantasy Series, those are all going to be on Nicole's channel from Bon Bon Reads, so definitely go check her out. Of course, as always, linked in the description. I do also want to read a few extra little things here and there this month, so I feel like it'd be a great month to do some dark academia reading, other than just the one book that I ended up getting for the Atlas 6 for my TBR veteran as part of the dice game. So I thought it would also be great to reread one of my favorite books, which is The Swallows. Definitely huge dark academia vibes, very dark, but it is also one of my favorite books ever. I really highly recommend, if you want to read this and you can handle the content, to please do so with a physical book, and I know, very unusual for me, read it physically and to listen to a dark academia playlist at the same time. My favorite is the one that's called like You're Following the Mysterious Student Off Campus or something like that. I love that playlist, and that really hugely elevated the experience for me. So I think if I get any of these dark academia books physically, I'll definitely be diving into those playlists. Other than that, I would love to read Babel by R.F. Kuang like everybody else. I think that would be perfect to cap off a lot of dark academia reads that I'll be picking up this month, because so many of them are centered around whiteness and like Greek philosophy and stuff that's just generally very like, you know, like white people centric. So it's very nice to see that Babel is more of like a deconstruction of language and how there's power in that, and those sort of the ways that like colonial structures rely on excluding people based on language and based on these sort of ideas. A few other books that I won't really go too much into the descriptions for, but in terms of dark academia vibes, I was thinking of reading The Maidens, If We Were Villains, Bunny, Catherine House, A Lesson in Vengeance, and maybe The Last Graduate as well. If there are any other recommendations you have for dark academia books that you would recommend, I'm definitely all ears, very interested in reading some dark academia this month, and I think that's actually pretty much everything that I have to say for this TBR video. Very short, to the point. If you're interested in seeing what I do end up eventually picking up for this month, you can always follow me on Goodreads. I also have a story graph, so if you want to follow me there, that stuff is linked in the description under my social links. Definitely let me know what books you'll be reading this month, which ones you're most excited for and highly anticipating, and anything you've already read this month that you've really, really enjoyed. That's it for me. I'm Rachel. This is Let Me in the Library. I will see you next time. Bye!